Gold and Blue Dude here with you again. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. I make videos every single day, sometimes multiple videos, depending on how active the day is or what kind of mood I'm in. So if you don't like this video, maybe you'll like one of my other videos. Well, this video today is actually a 2-for-1 because there was breaking news a little bit ago that I want to get to real quick and then move on to the main topic. So the first thing, breaking news is an incoming freshman linebacker, 4-star recruit Dylan Jordan is accusing Gary Patterson of using a racial slur. He claims that Gary Patterson used the slur in a face-to-face meeting following Gary Patterson calling out Dylan Jordan for posting his girlfriend on, I guess, what is known as National Girlfriend Day. So I don't know what social media outlet Dylan Jordan used, but apparently Gary Patterson didn't like that post, whatever it was. I haven't seen it myself. I'll have to go back and look at it. But whatever it is, Gary Patterson didn't like, and then they had a face-to-face meeting, and apparently in that meeting, that is when Gary Patterson used the racial slur. Back when the Vic Coney situation happened at West Virginia, I was telling all my fellow Mountaineer fans, this is not just a West Virginia thing. This is going to be happening all over the country. We saw it at Oklahoma State, and and Utah, and it's gonna happen. And I'm sure there's more instances out there that hasn't broke yet. So it's not if it's going to happen; it's how the university handles it when it does happen. And I think West Virginia did a wonderful job handling it. Whether you like the decision or not, it was the correct decision. So that's breaking news. I don't know. I'm sure TCU is launching an investigation. I don't know the repercussions yet, but I'll stay on top of this for you. So let's move on to the main subject, and that is West Virginia's 2020 quarterback battle. Now, a lot of people are under the mindset that it is Jarrett Dougie's job to lose. I myself have fallen under that category, but I went back and took a look at some things, and it's a lot closer than people realize. So I'm going to run through the numbers real quick and see if you're still 100% sure that it's going to be Jarrett Dougie. Now, the situation that West Virginia's in right now is actually really good. Austin Kendall has 1 more year of eligibility. Jarrett Dougie has 2 more years of eligibility. And then we have Garrett Green and Will Crowder coming in. They could see some time, and we could groom them for the future. And we would still have Jarrett Dougie for another year next year in case one or both of those guys need to redshirt this year. So it's a great problem to have. A lot of depth on quarterback and a lot of options for head coach Neil Brown. So let's look at the numbers real quick for Austin Kendall. He started 9 games. He was 3-6. He has 1 year of eligibility. This is his last year. He was 187 for 304 and threw for 1,989 yards. Now, he was 24th in the nation and 4th in the Big 12 in completions per game. That's really good. He completed an average of 20.8 completions per game, and that's 24th in the nation. I was kind of shocked about that. And he also averaged 221 passing yards per game. That's 7th in the Big 12. That's not that great. He did have 2 games that he threw for over 300 yards. It was against Texas. I was at that game. Just has interception issues, but also against Texas Tech, including that career-high 367 yards against Texas. He is also responsible for the longest offensive play for West Virginia in 2019 with that 83-yard touchdown pass against Baylor. So, overall stats, let's go through them again. 187 for 304, that's 61.5%. Threw for 1,989 yards, 12 touchdowns, but 10 interceptions. And that's the big number that everybody looks at is Austin Kendall's interceptions. So now let's look at Jarrett Dougie's numbers. He has 2 years of eligibility. So like I said before, if we need to redshirt one or both of Garrett Green and Will Crowder, we can, because we will have Jarrett Dougie another year next year. So maybe they could set under him this year or Austin Kendall and then get even more playing time in 2021. So he played 4 games, started 3 games. These are the words that come to mind when I think of Jarrett Dougie. He's poised, he's clutch, and he's confident. And those are intangibles that you cannot teach. You can't do it. He did have a over 300-yard passing game against Oklahoma State, and he was the Big 12 Newcomer of the Week following the win at Kansas State. Kansas State was ranked number 25, so that was a decent upset. So his numbers are, he was 79 for 120. That's 65.8%. That's a better completion percentage than Austin Kendall, but not as many games. 3 for 818 yards, 7 touchdowns, and only 3 interceptions. So to me, the biggest thing that it comes down to is that interception thing. Austin Kendall, when he made a mistake, he let it get him down. And also, it seemed like Jarrett Doege was just a better leader than Austin Kendall whenever he came in and started starting games. The big thing is we don't know what happens in the offseason if head coach Neil Brown has been able to work with Kendall more and create more confidence, because Austin Kendall did have good numbers. It's his confidence and his poise issues that he needs to clean up. Some intangibles. He's got the arm strength. He's got the accuracy when he's on, when he's not throwing interceptions and beating himself down. And when he does make a mistake, he doesn't respond very well. Those are things you can't really teach. So maybe being around head coach Neil Brown a little longer instilled some more confidence in him, and he'll have more poise. That's the big question. It's not that Jarrett Doege is an actual better quarterback than Austin Kendall. It's that he handled situations better, and he was a better leader than Austin Kendall. So if Austin Kendall can, have some of those attributes that he didn't have last year, then he actually might be the better quarterback. But like I said, we didn't see that last year, so that gives us hesitation to believe that it could happen this year. Jarrett Doege definitely displayed all the intangibles. He was clutch. He threw that touchdown pass to beat TCU with 2 minutes left in the game. That was another upset. Beat Kansas State at Kansas State. Didn't have an awesome game, but a good game. And I didn't really see a terrible game from Jarrett Doege. He did have a down game. I think it was against Oklahoma State, if I'm not mistaken. It might have been someone else. But with Austin Kendall, he makes one mistake and he beats himself down, and it's like he can't recover. So if he can learn to put mistakes behind him and not let that mistake keep beating him throughout the game, he could be a better quarterback than Jarrett Doege. But that is a big, big if. But like I said before, West Virginia has an awesome problem. We have Austin Kendall. This is his last year. Jarrett Doege, he has 2 more years. So even if Doege did win the position and got hurt or something, you would still have Austin Kendall, who would be a very good fill-in. And then grooming Will Crowder and Garrett Green, maybe giving them playing time this year, or maybe redshirting one or both and then give them playing time next year behind Jarrett Doege. So a lot of things, a lot of options. It's a good problem to have for West Virginia. So this should be a much more interesting quarterback battle than I anticipated. It just depends on those intangible attributes that Austin Kendall did not display last year. So it's a wait and see. I still think Jarrett Doege gets the nod in the first game, and then we'll see what happens after that. Who knows? That's all I got for you today. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you on my next show.